Don't underestimate the time that's involved, because it does need to take the time that it needs to take, and we really need to bring the community on board and increase the understanding to a point where the community can help in the decision making. So get involved. Get people involved, the people with the passion, there are a lot of community members with passion. Get them working with you on the solution.
Yeah, I'd like to ask, you were telling us that for 26 years you've been putting it on this forest area. Until now it's in a state where it can't take any more. Are you being expected to remediate that in any way?
We have an agreement with the landowners that we will move out we will aim to move out by 2019, but that we have our intentions to move out. So no, we're not doing remediation. Really it's the current crop, I guess, that has lost value. So it's not the soil that needs remediating. The soils are fine. So it's loss of revenue, but we have our agreement.
Can I ask a sort of follow-up question to that, and that is that one of the things that came up in some of the monitoring done as one or two here is that there are parts of the river catchment where there are very, very long lag times between from when material goes onto the land to when it actually makes its way into the water. Is that possibly going to be a factor with what's happened there, where there may be a long lag time of nitrogen flowing through from the forest into the lake? Is that the groundwater flow?
I guess we know how much nitrogen is stored up in there, but the fact, and it will slowly move out over time, that it will. But at a lesser rate than what it is now, because we will only be putting a third of the volume of water on. So I guess we know it will only be declining.
Yeah.
We can't change the trees that are on the forest because they're not ours to change. So that is something to keep in mind as well. If you do a land treatment system, you need to be able to manage the whole entire system, not just aspects of it.
Okay. Bob, did you have a comment on that at all?
I agree. If you're going to utilize a land-based treatment system, please try to maintain as much control over what you do as possible. We have irrigated on national forest land in the U.S., and the National Forest Service dictates what we can do. And you were talking about 70 millimeters, whatever, a week. Yeah, where we go on national forest land, we've done this in areas down on the coastal plain. Our loading rates are a centimeter or less. Our rates are about 10 to 12 inches a year, 10 to 12 inches a year. Help me, Charles, is what, 5 or 6 centimeters a year. So our loading rates are considerably lower than what they're talking about, and that's because we don't own or control the land.
Okay. So we have a question at the back, and then...
Question for Bob. In light of comments previously, in North Carolina, do you have any idea what the per household cost of sewage disposal is across North Carolina?
The range is dramatic. It's just, and it depends on the limits that the community has to meet. In Raleigh, right close to where I live, they're paying about $3 a thousand gallons for water and sewer service. In Zebulon, a town 10 miles further to the east, they're paying double that for water and sewer service. So the range is really dramatic. In Asheville, in the mountains of North Carolina, they're paying about $5 a thousand gallons for water and sewer service, but they're paying it to two different entities. They have a water authority, and then they have to pay into a metropolitan sewage district. And it comes out to about $5 a thousand. Help me, Charles, how much is that per liter? I'm sorry. But it can be quite expensive.
Thank you.
So Chris was next.
Alison, is there any thing known about the sensitivity of the lakes at different times of year? And if so, was any consideration given to seasonal discharge being different?
Yeah, the water quality definitely changes seasonally, but it's generally as the bottom waters go anoxic and then there's phosphorus released from the sediments. But it's not influenced by the level of nutrients that enter the lake on a seasonal basis, if that makes sense. So it's basically the total load of phosphorus going to the lake. So whether they're coming down the stream at the point in time when it goes anoxic or not, it's really the lake sediments that control that seasonal variability.